Assemble.
Your savior is here! What up, nerds? Welcome back. 50th video upload to the Nerd Dimension channel, and you're back here with the first episode of the spoiler discussion for the new Loki TV series. Here with me, my co-host David, my co-host Mikey. What is happening, boys? Welcome back. Special 50th video. What did you think of the intro? It's badass. Badass. Anyway.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties. We never captured David and Mikey's audio. It's unfortunate. I'm devastated. However, it's still a really good podcast. I edited it together in a solo format. I took some of it out. So it's just basically my thoughts, theories, discussion on the episode, breaking it down, things I noticed, things I picked up, callbacks. It's really good. It's really good. And stay tuned to the end because there's a particular good theory about Agent Mobius. So you don't want to miss that. Anyway, I apologize once again. Growing every day. Anyway, let's get right into this episode. Wow. Who wants to go first? I want to hear it. This episode, holy shit, this fucking episode, it had, right, we've learned a lot. First of all, of what a variant is. It's a time variant authority. A variant is someone who leads off their path of their sacred timeline. So this version of Loki is just a variant of the original version who slid off the path, so he doesn't get his moment in Ragnarok, etc. So that's what a variant is. He caused a branch reality. They took care of that right away at the start of the episode, and I loved that line he said when he was like, "I've had enough of fools in armor telling me what to do today." Just absolutely brilliant. And the whole way they done the endgame scene, but there was little extra stitched in moments where you see more of his reaction and stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Agent Mobius, Owen Wilson, holy shit. What a cool, calm, collected, smart, clever individual, just no ego. I'm loving it. What did you think? That's what I thought. I'm ready to give my ratings the new. Aye. And I love how it showed you cool bits, like he was DB Cooper and it was like Thor, he lost a bit to Thor, so that's just expanding their relationship and past, you know what I mean? We've had just little bits here and there, and then obviously Loki went batshit crazy and evil, but oh my god, man, what an episode and what an opening and a premiere to a show. Seriously, we get introduced to Agent Mobius in a very fascinating way in this church in some year, I can't remember. Wait, does anybody know the name of this episode first and foremost? I forgot. I was going to look it up just before this and I forgot. Agent Mobius, the way we're introduced to him, Owen Wilson's character. David's like, holy shit, Owen Wilson got old. No, they've just made his character that way, do you know what I mean? He's not that old, but he does have, he impressed me with his performance. He's in that French place. He asked that little girl who done this, because I guess that's a squad of his TVA agents or just agents from the TVA, and she points to Satan. Is this the time variant of Loki like Agent Mobius tells him? Or is it something else? Is it something different? Is it something that's going to lead into the multiverse of madness? Which is, have you ever heard of him? Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror, if you don't know who he is, look him up, but that's my thoughts. He's possibly going to be in this show, and it's possibly going to branch and connect into Multiverse of Madness and with whatever Wanda's doing next. What do you think? But he fits perfectly, do you know what I mean? Just like Paul Rudd. I don't know, his character blew me away. See, obviously, I called it in that refresher app, the before show. I was like, I think we've only seen parts from episode 1 in all the trailers, and I think there was maybe one or two things, just quick things, of different locations that were in the trailers that weren't in Ep 1, but majority of it is just from Ep 1, from what we've seen in the trailers, and I called it. The episode's going to open with the events in that scene in Endgame, and then it's going to lead from there. The pacing of the episode I thought was fantastic. Just the story beats, the humor, I don't know, man. It hit every beat perfectly for me. I was really blown away by it. I can't wait to watch it again. I only ended up watching it once. I never had time today. I noticed a scroll in the background at one point. Did anybody notice the scroll? Look for the scroll next time you watch it. I can't remember exactly what bit, but I seen a scroll definitely. You know what I loved? You know what I loved? Like, see when he's like, is that the greatest power in the universe? And he's actually just overcome. Fucking what phenomenal acting, man! Tom Hiddleston. And I love how it's just this new Loki that's a variant of the original. Do you know what I mean? So they can take him in different directions, but still make him likable. Like I'm so excited, and I love that it's Wednesdays. I love that it's Wednesdays, midweek fucking epic show. Do you know what I mean? Oh, see the actual place where the TVA is. I mean, I'm wondering what, like, is this a dimension? See, when you see he looks over and Mobius is like, take a look. He's so cool, calm, and collected. Just no ego. Just I love him, man. He plays that character brilliant, and he walks over and takes a look. Marvel once again have done it to me. Like, see those kind of that way where I'm just. I can't like stay focused on one thing. I'm trying to take it all in. It just looks spectacular. Do you know what I mean? Like, I loved it. What did you think of this TVA place? And do you think it's an alternate dimension or what? Where is this TVA? Where are they? Do you know what I mean? Well, that's the sacred timeline, like the main proper one where you can't branch off of and you can't change anything. That's why the TVA come after you. But I mean, where is this actual place? I mean, like, is this another dimension? Are we gonna explore? Like, do you know how like the way Dormammu was in the dark dimension? Is the TVA in some other dimension? Like, I don't know, but I really think it's interesting. I was gonna bring something up there, but I forgot what it was. Uh, but what did you think? Like Mobius's whole pitch and the whole like no way. It's one of those kind of exposition scenes, but they done it so well with the pacing. It was like he comes and gets him. They're in the elevator, then they're walking through the hall, and then they finally get to his office, and it's just that kind of like it's an expedition scene where it's filling in the viewer with the information they need to know. But they've done it in such a great paced way. I absolutely loved it. And then he's like, three lizards. You've got to be joking. I didn't think they looked like lizards. No, those three heads. What do you like the timekeepers or whatever they are? The way they paced it, that expedition, I thought was just fantastic with the humor and like him falling through the ground, and then going to one place. Like, this place is built like you're like where are like this place is built insane. Then when you see the grand scale view and they like kind of open it up, it's just absolutely fantastic. I loved it. You know what I really enjoyed when he was in Mobius's office and he was kind of like try to see what makes him tick and try to ask him honest straight up question, being just brutal with him and brass neck with him. Do you know what I mean? And it was like I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. And then he gets interrupted or whatever. See when he actually like skips forward ahead a bit, it was like that. I just thought it was so, like, see the emotional growth in the character and seeing his reaction and stuff to him dying, and then the kind of sad when Odin dies, and then the sad when like he sees like Thor grieving him, and see his actual like response to seeing Thanos, and see that same bone crunch I got in the cinema with Thanos breaking his neck. I got it again there watching the episode yesterday. I was like, what the fuck? No, I mean, it was pretty insane. Between the humor and the tension and emotion and everything, I just thought they done it fucking fantastically. See what I took from him watching that and his reaction, it was kind of then see at first when I was thinking about it, then he's like glorious purpose, and he just goes into badass mode and walks up and he just starts fighting her. She starts to beat him at first, but clever mischievous Camp has to get in close, do his tricks, and he just absolutely beats her. Then he's fucking doing that and sending her flying through, and she's like, stop it. I thought it was amazing, but see when he got upset, I think I've just kind of realized that maybe it was a realization is this is a future he's never going to live now. But his future always had glorious purpose because he played his part in the coming together of the Avengers. See that whole like Owen Wilson describing it and showing the table and the whole 3D, the technology. It's a mixture of pure super like futuristic but old school like 90s, no, like 80s, 50s, like it's pure old technology but pure futuristic technology mixed. Do you know what I mean? And that way it was like a film reel. but then it was like 3D projection, like something you see Tony Stark using. I thought that was really interesting, really weird creative choice, and I dug it. But when he's describing and telling them the story and the whole thing, like, let's watch your favorite, your best moments and that. He's like, oh, wait, this one's my favorite and stuff. Like, he's like, do you enjoy hurting people and stuff? Really pushing his buttons, trying to make them tick. I think when I said this is going to be a good buddy cop show, like between the two of them, just seeing their introduction and meeting and the questions he was asking him and how he was kind of breaking through to him, and then eventually Loki does tell him it's the game that the weak play on the strong, like they use fear. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, I thought it was just so powerful, but there were so many, the humor, the seriousness, addressing past MCU stuff and everything. I just thought they'd done it perfectly. The pacing, the story they told, as well as explaining this like to us how this is a variant of that original Loki, and now we can do what we want with them. And this is going to be an exciting series. I cannot wait to see the next 5 episodes. He's like, I don't see anything mischievous here. I just see like whatever. Do you know what I mean? Just pushing his buttons, just being honest, but no ego, no nothing judgment. He's just saying it as it is. So cool, calm, and like Owen Wilson pulls it off, man. Pulls it off. Like, I'm always taken by Tom Hiddleston's performance every time he's on screen. But see, when Owen Wilson was on screen with him, you're like, wow, man, it was powerful, and I can't wait to see what adventures they're gonna go on, man. Like, honestly, like, and who this villain, like he said, it's Loki, but how can it? Where did this variant of Loki come from? If it is Loki, that's what I want to see. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, I don't know where the show's gonna go, but I had a kind of feeling it would have like that Monster of the Week kind of vibe, but it'd be more like a time cop adventure of the week TVA, do you know what I mean? But now I'm not sure because there was a lot more. I thought it was going to be more humorous. There was a lot more serious tone in this than I was expecting, but I love that character arc, character growth, character struggle. Like that's what I love in a character and seeing them develop. And the fact we've already seen Loki go through a development, but this is a variant. It's exciting. Do you know what I mean? There's so much they can do with the character. I can't wait to see it. What was your favorite? What other scenes did you love? There's so many scenes in this episode I thought was amazing. What? What? That's absurd. He's pure. What? This is absurd. I love when he says that. This is absurd. Uh, see the see just seeing like his capabilities as well, but like tricking Owen Wilson. The whole bit with the dramatic effect, he's like, I was standing up to make a point, but the whatever is it that collar that's control? It's the collar that's controlling him, making him teleport back, and then the whole see when she smacked him way at the start with the batting, and she's like, you're now moving in 1/16 the speed, but you're experiencing all the pain in real time. That was fucking awesome. That was so cool, man. Like another like Marvel just they don't recycle like old effects and they keep expanding and trying new things and new. I keep thinking the locations that they make, how can they top what they've done, Wakanda, whatever else in Guardians of the Galaxy and everything, but they just keep surprising me with this episode and with the Shang-Chi trailer. Like, I can't wait to see what more worlds, because obviously the source material is massive and it's like all the different worlds and stuff we haven't even scratched the surface on in the MCU. Like, they've got so much that they can use, and I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. They see just the vibrant color and as well that kind of that this show really had. See when you seen the Avengers Endgame at the start, the whole show had that consistent quality, the same quality as Avengers Endgame, but it's a Disney Plus series. I'm really impressed. Really impressed. See as well. I don't like. Did we ever see Loki address the fact that he led them, which led to his mother dying? Did we ever see his reaction to his mother? I think we might like. Obviously, he knows his mother's dead, but I can't remember seeing an actual reaction, especially like that one. And oh wait, it would have been near. It would have been somewhere later on in Thor 2, because at the end, him and Thor did do the whole scene, so he would have found out. But seeing the reaction and the realization that she got killed and seeing her get killed, and that's the same big orc frost giant or whatever that he said that way. Do you know what I mean? To help them out. What did you think of them calling him Laufey, son? And in the court, because obviously he's the son of Laufey, the frost giant. A call back to Thor 1, do you know what I mean? I thought that was interesting. Do you know what I mean? So is he Loki? Is this, they call him Loki Laufeyson to kind of distinguish him from the sacred timeline Loki, which is Loki Odin's son? Is that what they were doing there? I don't know. I just kind of picked that up. What do you think? Well, I just think it's an interesting way to like just to distinguish them differently, because they did a very clever way of explaining and describing what a variant is, and the whole cartoon and everything, and just everything, the whole like it was just an expedition dump episode, but there was character growth, character moments, like it was put together and sewn together beautifully. Do you know what I mean? Like I thought it was really great. See, one thing I noticed, did you notice the second they get to the TVA, the Tesseract wasn't this vibrance glow just kind of shut down, and it reminded me of in Captain America 1 when the guy the Red Skull pulls out the fake one. It reminded me of that, but that instantly that was showing you right there that Tesseract has no power there, and then when he finds it, and then all the other Infinity Stones, and I noticed that when he first comes into the TVA that I was the color and vibrance of the Tesseract had and then you just see it drown out. Do you know what I mean? It just cuts away. I thought it was really cool. Did you notice that at all when they first got there? Well, you seen his eyes. That's what I was saying earlier. He's like, is this the greatest power in the universe? And he's just overcome. Do you know what I mean? It's like, of course he is, but he's a mischievous scamp. Do you know what I mean? Like I thought, wow, man, just wow. Like I don't know what else to say about the episode. I'm trying to remember other scenes. That whole scene with him threatening that guy, he got him like a fish. Like, you don't know what a fish is. He's like, I spent my entire life behind this desk. Just the whole banter. I wonder how much of that was improvised. It was fucking brilliant. I wouldn't be surprised if they were just doing takes and he was just saying different threats and he was having different responses, and that one was just perfect because that like it didn't seem scripted at all. Do you know what I mean? It just seemed like you were watching the characters. Do you know what I mean? Like, I thought it was amazing. It was so natural. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Hiddleston would improvised a lot of those lines there. Do you know what I mean? I thought that was awesome. Because that's the thing. Like, well, I don't think they would reveal him that quick. They would do something like this cliffhanger, exciting because we don't know yet. Do you know what I mean? We don't, we don't. Well, I think it's Kang the Conqueror, possibly Kang the Conqueror, and I'm sure he could. I don't know. I thought when Owen Wilson's character, when Mobius said that to Loki, I think he knows how to push Loki's buttons. Do you know what I mean? He's like, he knows he's mischievous. He's like fucking clever. He knows he's a smart guy. See their whole back and forth, even in the courtroom, like with the way Loki's asking questions. He's smarter and quicker than the woman in the court. Do you know what I mean? The judge. She says one thing, instantly deflects it, like has a question. Do you know what I mean? And she's like, according to who? Do you know what I mean? Like, like she has to try and answer as quick as he can ask. Do you know what I mean? She's saying stuff and he's just like making it seem stupid and having quick, clever. It is. Do you know what I mean? And he's questioning all the stupidity in that. Uh, he he was saying about he's like, what is it you want? He's like, to rule. Do you know what I mean? He's like trying to pull it out of him, and like, and as he's telling him and answering his questions, I think Loki's realizing how ridiculous it is, and he's like, rule a guy of your skill and your guy of your ability, and that like that. What a sad, simple thing. Do you know what I mean? I can't remember exactly what he said, but I thought that was also powerful. So I think he's going to give Loki a purpose. Not a god. He is a god, a king. He was supposed to be by birthright the king of the frost giants, but he was raised by the king of Asgard, so he also thinks his birthright is also to be the king of Asgard, and it's like it's very conflicted. Not seeing that moment though, that realization, that variant version of Loki, he's got something that the one that died in Endgame never had. he got his satisfaction. He got what he wanted. See that moment, that realization, watching his timeline and going through that character growth and the emotion, seeing it play out. See when it ends, and after speaking to Mobius, him saying like he's crucial in the events that form together the Avengers. That obviously, like that's a massive part. And the Avengers are a massive part of the sacred timeline, and he's a big part of bringing them together. He's the catalyst that brings them together. And see, like when he's watching that, and then it ends, and after his emotion, he has this realization that, oh, I was right. I was always born for glorious purpose, and that's his glorious purpose. And now he's a variant, and he understands that. That Loki's already lived that. Do you know what I mean? But he never experienced. Now he's a variant Loki that, who knows, like his future is unset now, and he's realized that that's he had his glorious purpose and his past life. This is his new life. He's got a second chance, and he's had that satisfaction of that glorious purpose. Do you know what I mean? I thought this fucking episode was fantastic, man. Absolute brilliant premiere. Well, why don't we get into the ratings right now? And you know what, I'm just gonna start here right away. We're going Tesseracts. Give me 5 motherfucking space stones. Give me 5 Tesseracts, baby. Get Red Skull to fuck. Honestly, what an episode. I've already explained why, and that's my rating. Just what an absolute phenomenal premiere to a season of a show, 6-part. It didn't feel like a show. The tone was less comical. It was a long episode. I reckon all the episodes are going to be long. Some maybe 8 minutes longer than others. Absolutely phenomenal. This had the endgame movie quality, and it's going to continue just to have that quality. And I basically see it as a 6-hour movie. Fantastic. 5 out of 5. You know what? There's 5 episodes to come. Who knows? You might be surprised. You might get that wow moment. Do you know what I mean? I thought the whole, for a premiere and for what it is, and from how they had to cover so much. Obviously, from that, this Loki has a future that we've seen in the MCU. He has the past we've seen. The way they've gave us this character, and that there's like, I don't know, they've not cornered themselves. Do you know what I mean? It's like this new Loki's their oyster, the world's their oyster. Like there's so much they can do, so many different directions. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're not held down by continuity now, and I thought it was genius. And the premiere, the introduction of the characters, just the emotion, the humor, the mixture of everything, the pacing, the expedition, it just all blew me away. And for like the ending, the outro of the episode, just that whole like dark, sinister scene, and they're kind of investigating, and just like oils, somebody's went back in town, just probably try to get rich, and then you just hear whoosh, and then they all go on fire. I thought it was incredible. I'm sticking with a 5. I'm breaking the episodes down more like methodically. Do you know what I mean? Like with like pacing, character moments, character progression, humor, seriousness, like emotional moments. I'm like making my judgment based on that, because I agree, back in Falcon and Winter Soldier it was just like, I fucking love this show, 5 out of 5. But then when I went back and rewatched it, it was like, right, when I watched the episode maybe a third time a few weeks later after we've digested it and we've seen all the episodes, it's like, right, maybe I wouldn't have gave that a 5 now that I'm watching it again. But the first time I watched it, that was just the impact I had because I enjoyed it so much. Do you know what I mean? So, but I'm definitely sticking with a 5 for this one. Definitely for this episode. I don't think Ep 2 will be as good as Ep 1. I don't think it will be better. I think it might slow down a bit. There might just be more. Yeah, they had to get through so much expedition. Yeah, they had to get through so much expedition and so much information to give to the audience. I think they pulled it off perfectly. But the second episode, I think it will cool down a bit. They'll go meet somebody. Loki will start. He'll be a rookie at the TVA job. He'll have his uniform on, and it'll be a kind of adventure of the week, monster of the week style episode. But again, TVA adventure. That's what I think personally. I don't think they're going to tone it down. I just don't think it's going to be a different style episode. I think it's the premiere, the introduction, basically the introduction of these two characters, Agent Mobius and Loki, because it's the new time variant Loki. Do you know what I mean? And then his whole moment in learning his future, what he's going to miss out, and now that they obviously reset his timeline when they in the Mongolian desert when he where he landed after leaving the Endgame Avengers Tower. That was like, they reset that timeline, and who knows how much effect that has and how far back that reset goes. But I'm assuming basically to just to when he got arrested in Avengers Tower. So I think personally that we're gonna get, not that it's gonna be toned down, but we're not gonna get as much expedition. It's gonna be more character driven, more. There's gonna be like some sort of job they need to do, and that episode is gonna be based on that job. And they may meet someday, maybe some other quick witted, some sort of tech guy, somebody that can help them. Do you know what I mean? Or send them to give them the information to send them. I feel it's gonna be one of those kind of style episodes for episode 2, and it's not gonna be as grand scale with everything. It's just gonna be more fun, more humor, and more like them two getting at each other, pushing each other's buttons, buddy cop. But by the end of the series, they're going to end up loving each other. I can see it coming. Either that, or it turns out all along that Mobius is the guy in the hood that set the fire. That's another thing. See the way he was talking to that wee girl and the way he's asking the question, and he's so cool, calm, collected, relaxed, no ego, no nothing. I think that is possibly him in the hood. If not Kang the Conqueror. I don't think it's a Dark Loki. He said to Loki it was Loki. Nobody else has mentioned it's Loki. I think Mobius. Well, this is my prediction. I think Mobius possibly is the guy in the hood who set the fire. I think you heard it here first in the Nerd Dimension Loki podcast. I honestly think that. Mobius is possibly the main villain of the show, and they're going to be a buddy cop. And then at the end, in the finale, we're going to find out he's double crossed Loki, and he's going to be revealed to be the one that they've been hunting this entire time. Just a kind of theory and thought I had, but the more I think about it, the more it's growing, and that might happen. Did you notice like the whole new Marvel intro was updated with like Endgame footage, and all the kind of old Phase 1, Phase 2 bits have been replaced with a more like Phase 3, do you know what I mean? Like fucking Infinity War clips and stuff in the Marvel title, but then it turned green. I thought that was so cool. Like, I thought what a new opening intro. And it was so good, and with like obviously like the Endgame fights and the Infinity War fights and the different, like the characters just look so much more badass in those scenes and the way it cut and then turned into Marvel, then it went green. So I was like, oh, I mean, at one of the podcasts, I need to make a sick new fucking intro for this, do you know what I mean? And I'm really happy with it. I hope whoever's watching this enjoyed it. Let's wrap it up, boys. Any last words? Oh! Thank you so much. I mean, it's not the 50th video I edited, and there is 2 videos that are private on the channel, so I don't count them. But this is officially the Loki Episode 1 podcast. The channel started with the original Falcon and the Winter Soldier podcast. That was my idea. That's what made the channel. Then it grew from there, and it's just totally evolved. We've gotten better. We've gotten higher quality. Hopefully the audio in this will be much better than the previous and the previous before that. But I'm so happy to be hitting 50 videos. I can't believe it. I read a thing that your first video, your first podcast, that will be shit, but you can't get to your 50th without making your first. And here we are 3 months later on the 50th video, on the first episode of the spoiler discussion breakdown of the Loki episode, talking with the boys. You've been watching the Nerd Dimension. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn those bell notifications on. Thanks for watching. 50 videos and many more to come. You've been watching the Nerd Dimension. Catch you next time. Oh! Great episode, boys. Fucking great episode. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh.